A ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah commenced at 4 a.m. today, Wednesday, November 27th, following recent escalations in violence. The ceasefire comes after Israeli airstrikes targeted a residential building in Beirut, resulting in the deaths of at least 24 people and raising concerns over ongoing hostilities in the region. The ceasefire agreement stipulates an initial 2-month halt in fighting, during which Hezbollah is required to withdraw its armed presence from southern Lebanon, while Israeli troops must remain on their side of the border. However, the implementation of this ceasefire remains uncertain, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned of retaliation for any violations by Hezbollah. This ceasefire does not extend to the ongoing conflict in Gaza, where US President Joe Biden is advocating for a separate ceasefire. Considering the recent violence, Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati urged the international community to act swiftly to halt Israeli aggression and enforce an immediate ceasefire, emphasizing the Israeli strikes demonstrate a disregard for international law. The Lebanese military has also advised returning refugees to avoid areas near the border until the situation stabilizes. To discuss this further, we have with us political and international commentator Hossein Alizadeh from London. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. My first question to you is, what measures are in place to ensure the compliance with the ceasefire agreement, and how can the international community effectively monitor violations from either side?
Well, we know that it was a very devastating conflict between the two sides, and just look at the casualties for Lebanese parties. That the number of those were killed past 4,000, and those injured 16,000, and more than 300,000 homes were destroyed. However, what is important is that when you compare between the war in Lebanon and war in Gaza, it is very significant that to remember that the war in Gaza has so far lasted for 14 months, whereas from the day Israel stepped or invaded Lebanon on October the 1st until today, November 27th, the war or invasion, land invasion of Lebanon by Israel didn't last even 2 months. So it gives a sense that Israel couldn't stand or couldn't resist for two fronts, to fight in two fronts. So this is good side that a ceasefire came to enforce. But regarding the question that who will implement this ceasefire and who has to comply with the rules, I have to say that according to the agreement, the four bodies will be active in this case. First, the Lebanese army, instead of the Hezbollah, will deploy to the southern lands. Second, the UNIFIL forces, and those UN peacekeepers will be in the buffer zone between Israel and Hezbollah. The third and fourth, there are forces from France and the United States will monitor this situation.
So leading on to my second question then, how likely is this ceasefire to last, and what could happen if either side violates the agreement?
Well, in fact, it's a $1 million question. My simple answer is that no one can give guarantee for a lasting ceasefire between the two sides. This is first. Why? Simply because back to 2006, the same conflict, the same tension happened between the two sides, and it lasted only for 18 years until this year, from 2006 until today. And it was based on UN resolution 1701. So no one can guarantee that this ceasefire can continue. Well, remember that we are talking where at the moment that a new president, a new elected president in the United States will be in the office, and he is Donald Trump, who is a very close friend of Prime Minister Netanyahu. We still don't know how he would act, but as I have said, what is important for me is that even the Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel accepted not to have a second front for war. So he wants to focus on Gaza, and because of that, he wanted to come to an agreement to finish the invasion in Lebanon. So probably it is a good sign of this agreement that the war in Lebanon doesn't come back again. But what would happen for Gaza? It is another question that we don't have any answer for that until let to see that how the new elect president of the United States, Trump, will act regarding the Gaza situation. So for the moment, what I can say that no guarantee for this for lasting ceasefire. However, we can say that there are some elements showing that probably
Yeah.
this ceasefire will be respected by Lebanese and Israelis. But we have to see that what would happen in Gaza.